you basically were born into acting more or less. And do you feel you've always deemed fame as normal? To this day, you realize that's not normal.
No, it's always been not normal.
Not normal.
Yeah.
Where you feel that you've missed a lot of things.
No, I don't feel like I've missed something because the alternative was never presented to me.
Okay.
You can't miss something you can't miss a pitch that's never thrown at you.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see others living those lives, and you thinking, okay, now I have to go and work, and I see these kids like.
Yeah, but I think normal is a
football
kind of dubious term. You know, I think everyone is going through a lot. And every single life is as unique as the fingerprint of the person that's living it.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I don't know anything about carving stone tools into weapons. I know it's an incredibly complicated process, and I know it takes a kind of brain power and technical prowess that I would never understand. My father's an automotive repairman. I could never do what he does. Never do what he does. He works with his hands. He has an understanding of an automobile that's completely outside my purview. He can remove damage to a car using tools and crafts that he's learned and acquired over the however many years and do it flawlessly. It's just so much, it's like an art. I don't think that's a normal existence. That's fucking weird. It's a very strange thing to do. It's very unique. I think all of us are incredibly unique. No one's life is normal. I think the problem that I have with fame is that it's treated like it's royal, which is disgusting. It's a disgusting thing to do.
So
because
fame is more a curse than a blessing.
I don't think it's more of a curse or more of a blessing. I think the fact that it's being called royal is gross, because then you get on set and it's 100 to 200 blue collar working class people doing a job. The industry has decided to sell a very specific image of itself, which is royalty. And it had that choice to make, and it chose royalty and excess. The prettiest people at the most exclusive parties, in the most expensive outfits, celebrating themselves. That's an incredibly masturbatory imagery to choose for oneself. I think that's incredibly strange. We've chosen the industry in very many ways has chosen an image of royalty for itself, which I don't agree with. I wouldn't mind celebrity if it was treated like a craft, like a tradesman who does their job very well, but it's not. You know, if someone is obsessed with what food you're eating and how, you know, if your bowels are regular, I think that's very fucking weird. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's an incredibly strange thing to concern yourself with.
But if the industry is a business, maybe they just did branding really well and then just got out of hand. Have you ever thought about that? And we've just
Sure.
feed on it. We just feed on it.
I mean, I think we could posit the idea that it's just a branding that's gotten out of hand, but I think it serves the industry wonderfully that it's perceived as royal, because it keeps people consistently wanting in.
Yeah. It's social media all over again.
Yeah, I mean, but it keeps people hooked into the chain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it keeps people paying for classes, paying to go and see films, paying to do their research, trying to get to meet people, trying to get closer to the goal. I mean, it keeps people in. We've chosen, I think it was a very conscious thing that we chose to treat it as a royal fascination. It didn't need to be a royal thing. It could have been what it actually is when you see it in person, which is a rather blue-collar pursuit.
So you hate the branding, but you love the job? That's why
I
you
love
continue to do it?
performance, but celebrity is not my job. My job is to say lines in front of a camera. The celebrity part, even this part, is very strange, because that's not my job. When I was younger, acting was, and we had this conversation a little bit last night, you know, your job as the editor-in-chief of GQ Portugal, your job is not throwing a gala. Your job is this. It's a print magazine. My job is to say words in front of a camera and bring characters to life to try and connect through empathy to a human experience that lets other people feel something. That's my job. My job is not, you won't believe who I'm dating. That's a very strange thing. That was the side salad when I was younger. You know, the grilled chicken of the dish was, let's say Big Daddy. Let's say Big Daddy. I was a small child and I was going to say lines in front of a camera, and that was my job. My job was, that was the grilled chicken. The side salad was the premiere and going to the MTV Movie Awards. Now, the side salad, so sorry. The side salad is the biggest part of the dish. We're inundated with celebrity culture. In fact, I think we're far more fascinated by the celebrity culture of things than even the act or the job itself.
That's because we gained access to social media and all of that.
Yes, but you also gained access to all the writers, all the directors, every part of the chain.
But they're not in front of the camera.
Yeah. So it's still, I don't know. I feel very conflicted about this because...
Yeah, there's no right answer about this. This is a discussion. I mean,
it is a discussion. And it's also, and I should preface this with almost everything I'm saying within this interview, I am also learning about this and coming to conclusions about these ideas at the same time I'm speaking them. Mm-hmm. You know, it is something that's taken me 30 years to grapple with and a lifetime in the industry that still doesn't make full sense to me.
And it's probably will take you 30 years to grasp everything.
Talking about fame, the other day I was thinking, because of Netflix and everything, so much content that sometimes I ask people the name of the actors and they don't know.
Yeah, but that's a privilege of a long-term career because I was called Cody until I got Riverdale. And only when I had another project that had hit some sort of zeitgeist in a way that people went, wait a minute, that guy's Cody and Jughead, did people go, oh, it's Cole. That is a byproduct of a long-term career. We were a monoculture at one time. It was much easier to hit the zeitgeist at one time with pieces of media. And as a consequence, much easier for individual stars or individual people of recognition, artists, whatever it was, to reach a broader audience. It was. The internet and its inundation of consistent content to every type of demographic has made it much harder to hit the zeitgeist because everyone is far more intellectually separated than they've ever been before. This is part of the dilemma of this information dissemination device, is that it has shown the world and all the different opinions and all the different ideas that you can juggle at the same time, and it has threatened the formalized consistency of opinion beforehand. And as a consequence of that, the monoculture that we used to create iconic actors and iconic artists out of has gotten a lot more complicated. To me, the only real litmus test of success is if that motherfucker is still here. That is it. And I almost said it last night at the awards ceremony, but I didn't include it. But it's that Frank Sinatra quote when he spoke to Mike Tyson. It is not about how good you are doing right now. It is about how long you are doing good. And the same still exists. The same still exists. There is a total world that in 10 years, none of the figures that we're familiar with right now are still going to be around. Everyone is more disposable professionally right now.
Everything is more disposable.
Yeah, everything.
Relationships, people, jobs.
It's short term. It's very short term, and it's a consequence of how we've trained our attention span. It's scary, but